Today's session for me is just kind of coming in and doing some trading with you guys for the next hour or so. And right now, I just got into, as you can see on the SPX, this opening range breakout on the SPX. I got, and I'm watching to see if it'll push up above this call resistance level on the GEX. You see this GEX level here? Um, it's fighting it at the moment, but we've got some things going in our favor. We've got the Vold printing above a 2.5, which generally is a good indication that we might have a trend up day, and then the the ticks were up around 600, and it was looking like we would potentially have a trend update, because the other thing that we look for here is the advanced decline needs to be over 1,000 and needs to be kind of pinning up that high, and the Vold needs to be above 2.5. So those things are giving me an indication, along with coming down here and getting a double bottom, that we might be pushing up through these levels here. Normally, if this was the opening range break and the largest gamma exposure level was right above it, I would wait to take that until we had cleared that level, because it's usually the call resistance and the absolute gamma level. It's a pretty strong level. And it's going to act as resistance, but we had kind of ranged in here. So I took that by getting the, what did I get? The 67.70s and the 67.65 put credit spread. I got those for about $1 a piece. And I will be flipping them out at 50 cents. Right, so I'm just going for a 50% winner on that. Now, if this really starts to ramp up into a big trend up day, I might hold it a little bit longer. But those are the rules of that kind of a trade, right? So I'm looking for 50% winner, and at the same time, I'm going to take that off if it goes against me, for 2 times the credit. So in this case, it would be at $2. No, Mark. Yeah, if it goes above this level, what was interesting on the gamma exposure charts is that there's a lot of call exposure up above this resistance level. So I think if we can push up through that, we're going to kind of move into this 620 area, maybe a little bit higher than that. That's what I think. Yeah, we do use different platforms. Nate and I use Thinkorswim, and then D-Man uses. I'm sorry. We use TradingView for our charting, and D-Man uses TC2000, and then we all use different brokerages. So would I buy the SPY as well as ORB? ORB stands for opening range break. So you can do that in the SPY, you can do that in the SPX, you can do that in any name you want, really. The gamma lines on TradingView I put these on here. So I got myself a little echo. Sorry. I put these on here based on the gamma exposure levels that I have access to. But I also put this chart out every morning for those of you who want to know where the clear gamma exposure levels are. And so I update it. So that link works for each day. Yeah, I didn't delete this one from yesterday. But I set up the new key levels at the open. and then during the middle of the day, I'll update it a little bit if I can remember, because they do shift throughout the day because market makers are hedging, and there's obviously more buying and selling going on throughout the day. So these levels can grow and shrink and become more important as the market moves in whichever direction it's going. So also this morning took a couple of SPY sniper trades. Was kind of trading those a little alongside D-Man, was doing the same thing. I had two. I caught that pull there and then caught that bounce there. I haven't figured out what the percentages are, but some nice snipers. We caught that roll over there, and then this bounce off of those two sniper indicator signals. And a nice rangy, kind of wish I still had that one on. Took that off up into call resistance because it was looking, that had to be almost a 50 or 60% winner there. I'd have to go back and look at it. But the big question that I have for everyone is, well, let me go to Lemonade, right? We picked up Lemonade yesterday. At the end of my session, off of point of control here, we got a nice little pop up into the that upper level that we had marked, and I took off that lotto for 111%. If you hit Lemonade with me this morning, put a 2 in chat. I know, Nate, you also were doing the same thing. Nice. What is this? What is this Lemonade that you speak of? Yeah, this is the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it? But then let's go to the big showstopper. I want to know. We set this up yesterday. This was our trade plan, right? We set up this 30-minute Lulu trade plan. How many of you took the aggressive 210s for this week with me? Put a 5 in chat if you did. How many of you took the 210 calls for this week? Yo, this thing popped up and made 610%. I put in 607 when I took it off, but I recalculated. That was a 610% winner this morning. What else did you guys get? Did you guys get them? I saw somebody had a 400% or something like that. Got in at 199 and got out at 14 or 14.15 or something like that on those contracts. Yeah, that was a massive hit this morning. And really, it's just all looking at a chart that setting up that you like, making sure you get a good risk reward entry, and then boom, sitting back and letting the trade work out. Yeah, and everybody's profits are probably going to vary. I was sitting there with the option chain open right at the open. It doesn't always print right away, and so as soon as they opened, I was sitting in there with my limit orders, trying to move them down a little bit into a spot where I think when it first populated the options, I was up 660 some percent, but then trying to grab an exit as this kind of bounced around, ended up going to 610. So still, what a massive trade. Love that. Oh, 220, D-Man? Is that all you got? Jeez. You've been on vacation for too long. You need to get back into the swing of things. We're over here talking about a 600% winner. This 200% stuff is child's play. I'm just kidding. 200% is awesome. uh, I might actually take another shot at the lotto here off of this lower area, just to see if it kind of wants to run up a little bit with the markets wanting to push as well. Let's see here. No, I didn't do that, did I? Oh, man. Bought that in the wrong account. Bought my ORB in the wrong account. Oh well. I bought it in the big account. But the ORB, we put that on for $1. We are at 50%. We are at 50 cents, or we were just at 50 cents a minute ago. So I would be flipping those out for 50% profit there, right? So that's the power of the ORB. We're taking on a 5-minute break, 5-minute candle break of the 15-minute opening range, and we're doing it as a credit spread, and we're flipping them out at 50%. So that's a great little trade there. And now we just kind of sit back and try and trade this market a little bit. I was going to see if we can find another 30%. Another 30-minute. I'm going to grab some Lulus. Let's just see what happens here. Let's just see what happens. Let's lotto these. I'm going to grab this week's, I don't know, let's grab the 225s. Ooh, those are pretty spready. No, they're not bad. All right, got in for $1.11 on those. The SPX, I do these every day. The XPX opening range breakout today is a put credit spread. So down here. So the reason I do these, I also buy long calls or long puts as well. But the trade that has a high probability winner is to buy the put credit spread, or conversely, if you're going the opposite direction, the call credit spread. And when you do that, the market, because there's 0 DTE and you have theta decay, you can push up like we just did to take your profit, right? That the direction will move the price towards your profit target. But then also, because you're selling the option, right? You're selling the higher put. If this just goes sideways through the day, but doesn't come down into your 2x stop loss, over time throughout the course of the morning and afternoon, your theta is going to decay the value of that option that you sold, right? And so it's going to, because you're the seller and it's decaying the value, you're reaching profit even if the market just goes sideways and doesn't really do much. So you can either get a directional move, or it can just stay sideways and you profit in both scenarios. The only way you have to stop out is if it starts to go against you. So they are a pretty how would I say that? Low risk isn't the right word. They're a calm way to trade the opening range without having to worry about stopping out really quickly or over managing a trade. They move slowly, and they're pretty relaxing. I don't know. There's a lot of people in here that do them. Now, the problem with doing it that way, doing a credit spread and only getting $1, if we do a 5 wide credit spread, right, our overall, let's say we just take one contract, our max account value that trade is taking is $500, right? And so if you get one for $1, right, you get that credit. That means your risk, if the whole trade goes against you and you don't stop out, is $4, right? And you just let it cash settle. So you're getting the dollar in credit, and if it continues to move on up and never comes down to break your upper level, then you're all set. You get to keep that full dollar. But if it starts to go against you and closes, down and outside these two ranges down here, then, and you don't close it out and you don't manage it, you do risk, $4 per contract. So $400 per contract. So you have to be comfortable enough with your spread trading to be able to manage that trade if it goes against you, right? And the way we manage that trade is if, let's say, we just got a nice round dollar, right? If this starts to go against me and I've gotten $1 in credit, my stop level is when it reaches $2. Okay? That's my stop level, which is 2x the credit. A lot of times, like let's say I get $1.25 for the spread, I'll still stop at 2. So then I'm just a little bit less than 2x. And then I'm usually flipping these out for profit at 50 cents. Right? I'm buying it back because it's I sold the credit spread. I am the seller of the option. Right? So that's how those work. So you can't just put these on and just wait and see what happens at the end of the day, because that max, these tend to run in the 80% win rate range, right? 80 some months I have them at 89%, 90%. But you have to manage, because even at an 80% win rate, if your 3 to 4 losers for that month, right, are $400 per contract, and you're only getting 50 to 60 cents per contract on your wins, that is still not a great P&L. Oh, can you hear my chips? I'm sorry, I'm playing with them in my hand. I do that a lot. They're not from any specific casino. They were from just a poker chip set. I have like 6 of them here on my desk. Well, they do when I'm in a trade and I don't want my hand on the mouse, right? And then they sit in front of my keyboard and mouse, and I just shuffle them. But I try not to do that when I'm talking on the mic, because it's right underneath the mic. So I apologize. I was playing with them while we were talking. Okay, so let's see if we can find ourselves. Normally I would have taken this sniper rollover here, and still probably could have gotten about 10% or so out of it. But I'm looking at this Vold ratio that's pushing well above 2.5, and I know the advanced decline down here, if I move this, is still pinning up here to almost 1500. That's when these, on the way up, these little moves down aren't really big enough to grab. So really, at this point, a sniper to the long side continuation style would be a decent enough trade, at least up into this next gamma exposure level. But because we're in between them, I'm just going to wait until we come up into one of them, right? So if we came back down to retest this call resistance level, I would make a play off of that for more of a long. If we came up into here and it looked like the market was turning, I would consider taking a put style sniper trade. But just because we're in between levels, there's just not enough of a risk reward position for me to want to do that. So I'm going to wait. All right, Lulu's moving for us. Let's see if that wants to kind of ramp up today. Randy, I have set up OCO brackets when I open like a sniper trade, you mean? Yeah, if you're not, the snipers are, quick in and outs. And if you're not disciplined enough to make those stop outs, especially if you're trading the SPX, they can get away from you. So setting an OCO just kind of takes the mental portion out of it, right? Target on Lulu. Honestly, I'm probably targeting this value area high here. And if it looks like, here's where I'll watch it. I'll watch it at VWAP to see if it looks like it's strong or if it's going to roll over at VWAP. And then if we can get up into this value area high, I'll watch to see, does it want to push up or is it going to range? My guess is, it's going to move up. It will probably range a little bit after that nice little gap up jump. Yeah, and VP from this morning is this chunk is the same. So that's cool. So I'll just be watching that. What are we up on it right now? Yeah, what, like 6%? Not a lot. Oh, trying to get that Riley going, huh, Nate? Oh, yeah, I can the Lulu trade that I just took. I just took the 225 calls, but I took them down here. So here, we'll do the same thing we did yesterday. And I did the same thing that I did yesterday, which was grab the wrong tool. So I'm going to grab the profit and loss tool. We picked this up as it was coming off of that bottom. I'm going to move my stop loss up to here, and I'm going to move my profit target up to there. I have a risk reward ratio of 6.6, and I'm only risking, this 0.65 of on the underlying. So 65 cents to make 425 on the underlying. And then, we'll see, maybe more. Maybe I'll flip out half there and see if we can't get a move to day high. Or this thing popped up to there, it's going to roll over and takes me out. Like, who knows at this point? But, I only risked a small amount on this trade. And I'm trading on massive profits from that 600 plus win earlier. So, and that doesn't mean that I'm going to go in and go full account, here because I'm feeling great about it. Like, I'm going to keep what I made today, and but I still, I still want to put a little something at risk and see if I can get another run. No, it's a one DTE because Lulu only has weekly option contracts, right? So it's for tomorrow. Oh, M. Randall. Yeah, you can call your broker and have him exercise the other side of that. All right, let's see if we can find another cool looking 30-minute chart. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, we're fine. Lemonade, also fine. Let's go GDX. Oh, good night. It's an ETF, but look at that. Anybody like this chart? Yeah, right, Kathy? That is a pretty chart. Maybe I'll come back to that in a second. Let's see what else we can find. No. Hershey. No. JPM. JPM's not bad. Okay, so I like this JPM 30-minute chart. But can anyone tell me why I probably would not take it? Nice 30-minute chart. Resting under this recent high. Can anyone tell me why? Yeah, Charlene got it. It's at the top of the range up here. This area has been shown to be resistance, right? And we've come up into that, and now we've pulled back. While we're consolidating here, we could continue to move up, but if we're going to follow the pattern that we've seen so far, we might just be resting before a further move down. So, not a fan of that one. Of course, Lemonade is on the scan. NEM. Ooh. Okay, this is a daily chart, right? If you think when I look at the 30-minute chart, if I'm going to like this, put a 1 in chat. And if you think I'm going to hate this, put a 5 in chat, based on what you see on the daily chart. Those of you who are putting in a 1, you are going to be correct, and here's why. You can see this is on a daily, so we've got this little consolidation going here, right? It's up above this previous high, right? And when I go to a 30-minute, oh, so pretty. Look at that. What do you think of that, Nate? Paging Mr. Bear. Please see a white courtesy phone. Yeah, right? Like, and then look at this. This is the daily. It's just popped new highs, retesting that breakout area. I'm a fan. ATR doesn't look huge, but you know what? That's fine. So this one is interesting, right? If we set up a trade plan here, right? We've got our point of control right there. Let's make that a little bit darker. We're at that point of control. Now, based on the stuff we did yesterday, do you think this looks like a good risk reward to take full position right here? Yeah, I don't think so yet. I mean, I would take a partial right here. Um, Give me just a second, everyone. I have to just do something real quick. Just a second. Sorry about that. The kid is leaving for school. So on this one, if we do our risk reward sitch, right, and if we were to take a full size trade right here, and we're looking to flip it out at the high, and we set our 1272 extension up here for our other target, right? It's not yet a 1 to 2, and coming up here it's barely a 1 to 2. So what I would do is set up a plan, right? I would set up a plan to say, all right, well, let's see these options. We got to check the options because this is not one I've traded before. They might be awful. Okay, they're not bad. So looking that we only have 2 days on a 30-minute chart, right? We could say I'm going to buy the hundreds, right? So we're going to go 100C, 100 strike calls for 1226 at, I don't know, 225-ish. And I'm not going to go full position. And the reason for that is because, so here we're going to say, let me go back to this. Bought to open those. I got them for 213. Right? And then if price comes down to 97.72, which is this lower level, I'm going to add. Okay? If it doesn't and it just goes, then I'm going to take, then the plan is if price moves up, half off at 102.17. Trailer to 103.68. Right? So now I have a position in this, not necessarily a full position. Down here, an add would be a full position. And then I have profit targets of half and half. This is NEM. You can read it behind there, but then you can also read it right here. Okay, so now we have a trade plan in. And whatever happens when I look at this chart, I know what my plan is. Right? Any questions on that? Any questions on why I was willing to enter down here and not maybe further down? Okay. Am I talking to myself at this point? Okay, and now it's already given us a little bit of a move up off of that area if I go down to a 1 minute. Right, and you can watch these on a 1 minute and you can see these ranges and everything. But remember that you took the trade on a 30 minute. And that's the 30-minute candle is what you want to look at if you're needing to stop out if the trade goes against you. What did I like about GDX? I'll show you. Okay, so look at that pattern, right? Those are the patterns we look for: a move up, right? A spike to a high and a consolidation. Right? We want to pick it up during the consolidation before its next move up, right? So then if we have, let's go to GDX. Does that have a similar looking pattern? It's already moving up. Yeah. So what you learn to recognize is these patterns that spike up, come down, start to consolidate around the moving averages. And if we're in an overall trend that is up, which this is, right, then you're putting the odds in your favor that this overall trend will continue. And you're taking it after a pullback and a consolidation before it moves higher or potentially moves higher, right? Those are that's the basis of the TPS style of trading. That's what we did. That's what we did in Lulu. That's what we're doing right now in Lulu. It's what we did yesterday in Lulu, right? Do you recognize that pattern? What it's missing is the move up into it, but it was a gap. But same kind of idea, right? Spike high, pullback, consolidation, and a move higher. So that's the basis of what all of Nate Bear's trades. And then if you look at just the, like the 1 minute for today on Lulu, we've got to move up. We got a very similar sort of 5 minutes, probably a little more accurate consolidation. It hasn't broken that low, and we're hoping for a continued move on up. Right? So you can probably see the similarities. The similarities in all those charts. Oh, we should have picked that up when I saw it the first time. Right? There. And the more you see these, the more you just begin to realize what a good pattern looks like. And we talked about it yesterday. Now, if I type into chat, NEM looks great, Nate knows that he's going to open up his chart and go to the time frame that I said, and it's going to look like this or something close to that. Bye, love you, kiddo. Kava 60 minute. Let's see. Oh God, why didn't I get that? It's a little extended now. Gotta wait. But if you get a little pullback down into that 85, 63 level, great. Love it. Is NEM moving? A little bit. What are we doing on the SPX? All right, so we got a trade on. Got about 15 minutes left. Do you want me to see if there's something else that might be setting up? Do you guys have any specific questions? Okay, let's see if there's any more. NSC. See, that one I don't like as much because of how far it's pulled back and how tiny that consolidation is. PAA, whoops. Oh, I do like that chart. I do like that chart very much. Does anybody else like that chart? What do the options look like on that? This is obviously silver. What is Newmont Corporation? Are they that's not right. Where is it? Are they also a metals company? Yeah, they're a minerals company. So this is interesting. Like PAS, or Pan American Silver, however you want to say that, is also a minerals company, and it's in a similar, pattern. And one of the hard things, so was GDX, which is also minerals. And what I've found over the years is you can come across, like, you think, oh my God, there's like 7 absolutely gorgeous charts, and you're like, I can't pass these up. I have to take them. And you do it, and you put a trade on in all 5 or 6 of them, and then that sector gets rotated out of, or there's news in that sector, and all 6 of your trades are down overnight or midday or whatever. And so when I see a bunch of, I have to check to make sure that they're not all in the same space or in the same industry, because I've done that too many times in the past, where all the charts from that sector look gorgeous, and then something happens in that sector, and all of them are down. Yeah. What was I going to look at? Nate, you said, was it Kava? CVNA? Yeah, that sure does. Oof, that sure does. Maybe a little lotto? What do we got? CVNA. This one's going to get away from me quick. Yikes. It's not really it's almost a $500 stock. It's not really a lotto type candidate. Maybe the 475s. God, we're right up here. Do I need FOMO? No, I don't. You almost got me. Sneaky, sneaky. You almost got me. You almost FOMO'd me into that. I see what you're up to. I'm not taking it. I would like to get it down here. Thank you very much. And or it's VWAP. No, I would like to keep those Lulu profits. Thank you very little. Listen to Nate. He's telling me to LTB it. Who knows what LTB means? Anyone? LTV? Load the boat. That's a problem with a big win too, is it can really skew your view on how much you should be risking. You have to step back and I have to step back usually and reset. Because you think the psychology of that, which we'll talk about tomorrow a little bit, the psychology is that is you're invincible, and the psychology of that is you just had a massive win, so you can be more reckless if you need, and you can lose a little bit. In your head, you're saying a little bit because you've just had a big, huge win, and then you put on too much risk or a trade that's not smart, and get yourself in trouble. I mean, I couldn't count on one hand. I was going to say I could count on one hand, but that's not true. I couldn't count on one hand, maybe not both hands, the times in my, I'm doing air quotes, in my career where I have had a massive win and then either given it all back in that same day, or given it all back within the next 2 or 3 days. All just because you have this feeling of invincibility and putting on too many trades, putting on trades with not the right risk reward, letting trades that are going against you keep running against you in the hope that they're going to come back, because God, you just hit a 600% winner. Why would you take a loss at 30%? Because you're a 600% God. I'm invincible. Yeah, right. This, of course, is going to come back because I am, God's gift to trading, and then the market quickly shows you that you are not that is not the case. That a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while, and you just happen to stumble across one, right? AEO. Oh yeah, nice little tight, real tight flag. A little extended at the moment down at VWAP would have been a better place to pick that up. Yeah, I don't. There's not really a setup for me at the moment. Who's on it? Who comes on after me? Slowing the Fire Hose Down by Mr. Bear is up next. Does anyone need a restroom break, coffee break? I did. My Nostradamus mystic is blown. Yeah, VWAP is volume weighted average price. Little bio break. Yeah, let's do that. I will cut it off here. I'll switch over to Nate's screen. But he probably won't be back on until actually 11:30. So you've got some time. Had some good trades today. If you had a good day today so far, put a 9 in chat. If you've had a good trading day, I mean, not just like a pleasant day, that's a different discussion, but a good trading day. Excellent. It has been a great morning. And I think, the one thing that I think is so important is to learn that when you've had a good day and your morning is up and the volume kind of comes out of the market for the lunch hour, if it's the hardest thing to do because, well, like we were just talking about, you're God's gift, so to speak. You think you're God's gift or whatever. But, Nate will say this all the time. But your job, now that's not working anymore. Let me switch. See if it'll do it on NEM. Go there. Is to what? EBIT. And sometimes that means, shutting down the entry and exit portion of your software and just sitting back and learning. NEM is working now. Yeah, it is. Look at that. Told you I was Nate Stradamus. Nobody questioned me. I am God's gift. Just kidding. I'm back on, I think, for the close. So maybe we'll do a butterfly, iron butterfly into the close based on gamma exposure levels. But it's been a good morning, and I'm going to chill out and listen to Nate and D-Man's sessions. see if I can't learn something new. I'm always learning something new. Also, remember today's code, present 300. You're getting $300 off if you want to come join us. As you can see, we have fun in here. We laugh. We hit winners. We talk about losers. We strive to get better, and we have a growth mindset in here. And that's one of the things that is invaluable when learning how to do this. This is not an easy profession, but it's a lot of fun. So hope you use that code. If you didn't use yesterday's code and get in, I know it drops significantly tomorrow. So grab it while you can. I'll see you all this afternoon.
All right, Nate. Good stuff. Good stuff. What's up, everybody? Mute myself, otherwise I'll go crazy. Um, how's everybody doing today? You guys having a better day? Having a good day today? Put a 5 in chat. Let's just see what we've got here. Let me see here. Orders. 5. Look at all those 5s. That's what I'm talking about. Now, let me get the recording going, otherwise I will forget. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna give. You guys want to take a bathroom break, like a 2-minute break? I know it's like one after another, and there's no bathroom breaks or water breaks or any of that built in. So, do you guys want to take a quick bathroom break here? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Let's reconvene at 11:35. We'll take a 5-minute break, then I'll jump on and get things going. Okay. And I'll go over everything that I've kind of got. We'll go over what's been working, what hasn't been working.